Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class. We will sing a bhajan before going to begin the class. It is very relevant for today's topic of discussion. The bhajan entitled is Tumi Sarveshwareshwara. Tumi Sarveshwareshwara Bhajendra Tumara. Tumi Sarveshwara Bhajendra Tumara. तुम्हारा इच्छाया विश्वे सुजना संहार सुजना संहार तव इच्छा मातो ब्रह्मा Korena sujana Tava ichcha mato brahma Korena sujana Tava ichcha mato Vishnu Korena palana Tava ichcha mato Korena palana Tava ichcha mate Shiva Korena samhara Shiva Korena samhara Tava ichcha mate maya suje karagara Ichcha mate maya suje karagara Tava ichcha mate jive janama marana Tava ichcha mate Samruddhi nipate dukkha sukha samgatana Dukkha sukha samgatana Niche bharadha jiva asha pasha phire Maya baddha jiva asha pasha phire Tava ichcha bina kichu korite na pare korite na pare Tumi to rakha palaka amara Tumi to rakha तुम्हारा चराना बिना आहना ही आरा चराना बिना निज बल चेष्टा प्रति बरसा चढ़िया बल चेष्टा प्रति बरसा चढ़िया तुम्हारा इच्छाया अच्छी निर्भरा करिया yachi nirvana koriya Bhakati vinodati dina kinchana तुम्हारा इच्छाया तारा जीवन मरना Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare परिणाम संकीर्तन की शील गोपाल जी ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Today we are discussing on Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 2nd, entitled as the cosmic manifestation, chapter 6, verse number 6, chapter entitled as Purusha Sukta Confirmed. Please repeat after me. Bahavo lokapalanam prayasha kshema karmanam. 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 Bahavo lokapalanam. Mataji. Word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace Bhakti Sham Shri Prabhupada. Yeah. Word meaning. Bahava arms. Lokapalanam of the governing deities of the planets, the demigods. Prayashaha almost always. Kshema karmanam of those who are leaders and protectors of the general mass. Translation. The Lord's arms are the productive fields for the great demigods and other leaders of the living entities who protect the general mass. Purport. This important verse of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is corroborated and nicely explained in the Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, 41st and 42nd verses as follows. Yad yad vibhuti matsatvam Śrīmad ujitam eva va tat tat eva gachatvam mama tejo amsa sambhavam athava bahunayatena punyatena tavarjuna vishtabhyam idam krishnam ekamshena sthito jagat. There are many powerful kings, leaders, learned scholars, scientists, artists, engineers, inventors, excavators, archaeologists, industrialists, politicians, economists, business magnates, and many more powerful deities or demigods like Brahma, Shiva, Indra, Chandra, Surya, Varuna, and Marut, who are all protecting the interest of the universal affairs of maintenance in different positions. And all of them are different powerful parts and parcel of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is the father of all living entities who are placed in different high and low positions according to their desires or aspirations. Some of them, as particularly mentioned above, are specifically endowed with powers by the will of the Lord. A sane person must know for certain that a living being, however powerful he may be, is neither absolute nor independent. All living beings must accept the origin of their specific power as mentioned in this verse. And if they act accordingly, then simply by discharging their respective occupational duties, they can achieve the highest perfection of life, namely the eternal life, the complete knowledge, and inexhaustible blessings. As long as the powerful men of the world do not accept the origin of their respective powers, namely the personality of Godhead, the actions of Maya, illusion, will continue to act. The actions of Maya are such that a powerful person, misled by illusionary material energy, wrongly accepts himself as all in all and does not develop God consciousness. As such, the false sense of egoism, namely myself and mine, had become overly has become overly prominent in the world, and there is a hard struggle for existence in human society. The intelligent class of men, therefore, must admit the Lord as the ultimate source of all energies and thus pay tribute to the Lord for his good blessings. Simply by accepting the Lord as the supreme proprietor of everything, since he is actually so, one can achieve the highest perfection of life. Whatever a person may be, in the estimation of social order of things, if a person tries to reciprocate a feeling of love towards the Supreme Person of Godhead and is satisfied with the blessings of the Lord, he will at once feel the highest peace of mind for which he is hankering life after life. Peace of mind, or in other words, the healthy state of mind, can be achieved only when the mind is situated in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The parts and parcels of the Lord are endowed with specific powers for rendering service unto the Lord, just as a big business magnate sons are empowered with specific powers of administration. The obedient son of the father never goes against the will of the father, and therefore passes life very peacefully in concurrence with the head of the family, the father. Similarly, the Lord being the Father, all living beings should fully and satisfactorily discharge the duty and will of the Father as faithful sons. This very mentality will at once bring peace and prosperity to human society. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurmidam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Vayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadam Vandeham Shri Guru Sri Radapalakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lita Sri Vishakamitam Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dheena Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopikanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhana Sute Namami Haritve Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Hindujaya Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Yes, before going to discuss the more elaboration on the purport, first of all, we will come to know how come this canto came into existence. The canto entitled as the Cosmic Manifestation. In the first canto, we saw when the Kali is punishing the Dharma in the form of bull and cow, he is punishing them. And immediately Maharaja Pariksit saw, he went there for the justice for the cow and to protect the cow, and he chastises Kali. And afterwards, he got cursed. He is going to die. Now he is thinking, a person who is going to die, what is his duty? He was searching for the answer. He went to Ganges. He met so many sages, rishis, everybody giving their own perspective. And at last, Sukadeva Goswami arrived there. He, Pariksit Maharaj, very submissively, politely, he asked the question, what is the duty of a person who is going to die? And in order to answer him, he referred the conversation between Narada Muni and Brahma. In the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, we see most of the topics are the conversation between two great personalities. Full entire Bhagavatam, we can say it's a conversation between two great personalities. Different pastimes in between two devotees are discussing. And when Pariksit Maharaj asked that question, Sukadeva Goswami referred the conversation between Narada and Brahma, where Narada Muni, before he knows complete truth, he thought that Brahma is the actual absolute truth. There is no one behind him, beyond him. Jai Shri Gaur Nithai Ki, Jai Shri Radha Madhav Ki, Jai Shri Jagannath Baladev. He got a wrong understanding. Narada Muni questions and he shows his conviction towards his father Brahma, and he has some doubts. The doubt is that if you are absolute truth, then how come you are doing tapasya, meditation? There is a doubt in the Narada Muni. You want to clarify why Brahma is doing tapasya. Then Brahma cleared the doubt of Narada Muni and he cleared the misconception and the conviction on him, and he gave the answers to his questions. He asked 6 questions. Narada Muni asked 6 questions to Brahma, which is covered in the 5th chapter of the 2nd canto. The very first and second verse. He asks about how the universe manifestation and everything take place. Pariksit Maharaj knows that ultimate goal of life is to understand loving exchanges of Lord Krishna. He wants to directly ask, but he hesitated to ask directly. And he thought a while, and he asked a question in such a way that he can have a great interest or conviction towards about the cosmic manifestation and creation of the universe. Pariksit Maharaj, he deliberately asked the question in the 4th chapter of the 2nd canto. He asked the question, Sukadeva Goswami, how does Lord create the universe through his energies? He asked the question. And in order to answer this question, Sukadeva Goswami referred to Brahma and Narada conversation. And we know in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, it describes about 10 topics, 10 subject matters. Atra sargo visargascha, sthanam kosha, bhutaya, manvantare ishanukata, nirodha mukti rashraya. The 10 subject matters Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. The first is sarga, that means primary creation, and then visarga, the secondary creation. Now, what we heard, the description about this Virat Purusha, and all those things are nothing but Visarga, second creation. We say in the today's verse, the arms are protective fields of the great demigods or the leaders of the living entities who protect the general mass. Yesterday we saw his bodily surface is bleeding brown. His hairs on his body are the cause of all vegetation. Like that, different bodily parts of the Lord are how in the cosmic manifestation, how they are representative, how they are manifesting. Ultimately, the Lord in his Purusha Avatara, Garbhodaya Krishna Vishnu, he expands or he creates this cosmic manifestation. And people wonder, they may have a question, why this cosmic manifestation is being described in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam? You know, Vyasadeva, after writing all Vedic literature, he is not satisfied because he didn't fully glorify, directly glorify the Lord Krishna. The Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam should be direct glorification of Krishna. How come again the cosmic manifestation subject matter came? A general person will get a question. But what is the answer? The answer is itself in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam explained. The very first verse of this second canto, first chapter, the purport, Prabhupada explains about the highest perfection of life. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, to achieve the transcendental loving service to Krishna is the highest perfection of life. In order to establish this fact, Sukadeva Goswami, the question of Pariksit Maharaj, he elaborately, or in a brief, he explained about the cosmic manifestation. Because to understand the purpose of creation, that everything can be dovetailed in the service of the. To understand the purpose of creation, that everything can be dovetailed in the service of the Lord. Otherwise, the living entities, they are entangled in the material life. If they are able to understand about the cosmic manifestation, then they can think a way of how to dovetail whatever we see, whatever we do, whatever we entangle in. That can be dovetailed or engaged in the service of the Lord. This is the reason the Sarga, creation, and the Visarga, secondary creation, is explained in Srimad. Why it is being described here? Because to understand and dovetail in the service of the Lord. What you will get by doing this? By doing this, we will fix ourselves in the devotional service. We will get more determination. We will more strongly fixed. But how it will be developed? How we will be engaged in or dovetail in the service of the Lord? As soon as you see anything in this creation, a thought should be provoked. That in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam it is explained that everything is a manifestation energy of Krishna. When we get this thought and when we see the vision of the scripture, then we will develop that strong determination and we'll fix in devotional service. Then we'll apply whatever is being taught in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, we will apply in our day-to-day life. Otherwise, we may not. The purport, the very first lines of the purport, Prabhupada mentions different class of people in the society, namely kings, leaders, learned scholars, archaeologists, inventors, engineers, excavators, so many. he mentioned. Why all these great people are being mentioned here? Verse 60 explains. Bahavo lokapalana prayasha kshema karmana. All those people are ruling the common people, are taking care of the general mass, protecting the general mass. When we see in our society, day-to-day society, we see engineers, we came across so many engineers, so many different highly qualified people. But what we think? We think, oh, we got some good intelligence, he employs and he earns a good amount of money, he engages in sense gratification. We see like this. But actually, we should see in a different way. Like, they got the potency of such position by the Lord. Potency of the potent is invested by the Lord. It's not self-generated. The potency which they possess is not self-generated. It was invested by the Lord. When we have this vision, whomever we came across, we immediately thought of Krishna. Enter constant manifestation, we immediately thought about the Lord. That makes us to more conviction in our devotional life. That's why Prabhupada is mentioning so many big names. Not only in this material world, for the creation, the demigods' names also Prabhupada takes. Brahma, Shiva, Indra, Chandra, Surya, Varuna, all those different demigods. They all got potency. They got different powers to rule the cosmic manifestation because of the Lord. Can you highlight this line too? The purport. A sane person must know for certain that a living being, however powerful he may be, is neither absolute nor dependent. Prabhupada is clearly mentioning a sane person must know. Must. He mentioned the word must. Definitely should know. Why? That is being explained in the latter half of the purport. When he knows that he is not independent and he is not absolute, and moreover, all living beings must accept the origin of their specific power as mentioned in this verse. And if they act accordingly, then simply by discharging their respective occupational duty, they can achieve the highest perfection of life, namely the eternal life, complete knowledge, and inaccessible blessings. Those who want to Sachidananda life, they must accept the fact that Supreme Lord is the only one who is giving the powers to us, empowering us. This is always being taught in the Bhagavatam. He gives remembrance, he gives forgetfulness, he is the strength, he is the potency. So many places in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord explains that he is the one who is doing everything. If a sane person learns this fact, what happens to him? He will get a blissful life, happy, knowledgeable life. If he doesn't accept or if he doesn't learn this fact, what happens to him? He will be entrapped or got illusioned by the Maya, thinking that he is the one controller, I and mind conception, he will fall in. And eventually, he will be more and more entangled in the cycle of birth and death. But if a person, whatever a person may be, in the estimation of social order of things, if a person tries to reciprocate the feeling of love towards the Supreme Person of Godhead and is satisfied with the blessings of the Lord, will at once feel the highest peace of mind for which he is hankering life after life. All the jivas are hankering for something in their life, but most of them don't know what is their hankering is for. They think that maybe for shelter, maybe for some food, maybe for mating or something like that. They think, but actual hankering is to attain the peace and to get that transcendental loving service to the Lord. Gen, that is a real hankering. Life after life, every jiva is hankering about. But very few people will come to know the truth. As already mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita 5th chapter 29th verse, the peace formula. Bhoktaram yajnatapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram Suvidam sarvabhutanam jnatmam shanti muchyate. One who knows the fact that Supreme Lord is the proprietor, the controller and everything, he is at peace. But one who doesn't know, he never get a peace. Acknowledging being mentioned in the latter part of the purport. Peace of mind, or in other words, the healthy state of mind can be achieved only when the mind is situated in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The goal, the prayojana and the abhideya, the process is being explained in this one sentence. Can you please highlight this? Peace of mind, or in other words, a healthy state of mind can be achieved only when the mind is situated in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. In this one sentence, the Gaudiya philosophy essence is mentioned. The prayojana and the abhideya, the result and the process is being mentioned. The parts and parcels of the Lord are endowed with the specific powers for rendering service unto the Lord. Again, Prabhupada is concluding that the specific powers a person, a living entity gets by the mercy of the Lord, by the will of the Lord he gets. Just like, for example, a son who is obedient to his father, he naturally gets the administration rights. Similarly, if the living entity knows the Supreme Lord is the Father and he satisfactorily discharges his duty as a faithful son, he eventually bring peace and prosperity to his life. The main essence or the teaching which we get from this verse is that one should accept that everything is coming from the Krishna. He is the one who is investing all the powers. One should learn this fact. The same fact is disclosed to Narada Muni by Brahma. When Brahma asked, I thought you are the Supreme, but I have got a doubt that you are doing tapasya. Brahmaji answered that I am not the Supreme. Supreme Lord is Krishna. I am just a son, or a living entity born from him. He mentions in the previous chapter. All these things need to be known to get the highest perfection of life. Can you open 211? 211 perfect. Very meaningful purpose for a practitioner, Krishna consciousness practitioner. When Pariksit Maharaj asked the question about dying person, what is duty? Next, second canto, very first verse. Sukadeva Goswami praises the question of Pariksit Maharaj. Where Prabhupada writes this good purpose, elaborate purpose. Even the very question is so nice that it is the best subject matter for hearing. Simply by such questioning and hearing, one can achieve the highest perfectional stage of life. Simply by questioning and hearing. पूछना और सुनना, इससे जीवन का सर्वोच्च स्थिति में पाया सकते हैं. Because Lord Krishna is the original supreme person, any question about him is original and perfect. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that the highest perfection of life is to achieve the transcendental loving service of Krishna. This is a goal. Goal of a Krishna conscious devotee. Because questions and answers about Krishna elevate one to that transcendental position. The questions of Maharaja Pariksit about Krishna philosophy are greatly glorified. Maharaja Pariksit wanted to absorb his mind completely in Krishna, and such absorption can be effected simply by hearing about the uncommon activities of Krishna. For instance, in the Bhagavad Gita, it is stated simply by understanding the transcendental nature of the Lord, it is stated that nature of the Lord, Krishna's appearance and disappearance and activities, one can immediately return home back to Godhead and never come back to this miserable condition of material existence. Janma karma chimedidyam evam yoga tatvata taktva punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. One who knows the Supreme Lord's birth, activities, and disappearance are divine, he no need to take birth again in this material world. It is very auspicious. Therefore, to hear always about Krishna, so Maharaj Pariksit requested Sukadeva Goswami to narrate the activities of Krishna so that he could engage his mind in Krishna. The activities of Krishna are not different from Krishna himself. As long as one is engaged in hearing such transcendental activities of Krishna, he remains aloof from the conditional life of material existence. The present prayojana is being explained here. If one hears about the pastimes or activities of Krishna, what happens to him? He remains aloof from the conditional life of material existence. भौतिक चेतना से, भौतिक अवस्था से वो दूर रहेंगे, मुक्त अवस्था में रहेंगे, यही शरीर में. The topics of Lord Krishna are so auspicious that they purify the speaker, the hearer, and the inquirer. They are compared to the Ganges water, which flows from the toe of the Lord Krishna. Wherever the Ganges water go, they purify the land and the person who bathes in them. Similarly, Krishna Katha, or the topics of Krishna, are so pure that whenever they are spoken, the place, the hearer, the inquirer, the speaker, and all are concerned, all concerned become purified. Just like the Ganges, wherever it flows, whoever comes in contact with the Ganges, they get purified. Similarly, whoever comes in contact with Krishna, whatever place, at any time, any circumstances, they will get purified. Krishna is such a purification of good. Whoever comes, immediately will get purified. The very first step in our devotional life is the same thing, Kleshagni Subhatha. All our material miseries will go away and all auspiciousness will come in. Person start practicing Krishna consciousness, what happens? All miseries immediately go away and all auspiciousness takes place. So, we should know the reason behind the cosmic manifestation, creation. Have the vision, Shastric vision. Whenever we turn our eyes, we should have such a vision that immediately it should remember. It gives you a remembrance about Krishna. One time it's happened in Jew Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam classes when the 8th canto is going on. There are various vivid description about the dynasties, different things about that past time in Vidindra Moksha. He very beautifully explained about the Nikut mountain and its glamour, glories. At that time, one devotee asked a question to speaker. Why these all so much elaborately about creation is being explained here? And the speaker he replied that it is explained because all those great personalities are great devotees of the Lord. That's why they are being mentioned in the Bhagavatam. If we take their name also, we will get purified. And all about the creation is mentioned because when we know the greatness of the Krishna, how much he is grateful by creating this universe, he is giving to us. We can know the greatness and compassion towards the living entities, and we can appreciate. Similarly, here also the different limbs of the body is compared or being manifested in this material world in different form. When we see that forms, perverted forms, we should immediately remember the original source of it, nothing but the Supreme Personal Godhead. When we learn this fact, then we will attain a peace and ever after transcendental loving service of the Lord. It's the crux of this today's verse. If anybody have any questions, comments, they can ask. Questions?
Thank you, Prabhu, for your class. Prabhu, my question is that you said we should purify our vision. So, what is the way of purifying our vision? We already know that we should see the everyone as a soul, as Prabhupada mentioned so many times in his purpose, and we should see that beautiful forms of deities. And but still, our senses are uncontrolled. So, what are the higher ways of dealing with such impulses?
First of all, one should understand. When we understand, the relation, Abhidhyam is the process, and Prayojan is the result. Now, result is clear. Everybody knows one should attain the transcendental loving service of the Lord. He should become one of his associates. That everybody knows. The process is being described in the process in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and all the literatures. In a very simplified manner, Prabhupada gave us the morning program, evening program, and the seva. He gave very simplified manner for us how we can practice devotional life in day-to-day life, how we can become near to Krishna. Very simplified manner he gave. And the main question comes the sambandha, relation. That's where all the practitioners, all the Vaidhi Marga level, they got stuck. They are not able to establish the sambandha, not able to know the relation between the Lord and oneself. If one able to clear this stage, then rest everything is goes smoothly. But in order to understand sambandha, it's very difficult something. But in general, we can understand that sambandha by the conversation, by knowing the conversation between the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sanatana. When Sanatana Goswami went to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he asked, "Who am I? Why I am tormented by these three modes of material nature? What is my purpose of life?" He asked all those questions. And in one of the main verse, he gave one of the answers to his questions. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, "Jivere Swarup hai, Krishna Nityadas." The Swarupa of the living entity is the servant of the Lord. When we remember constantly that we are a servant of the Lord, our duty is to serve Him in a loving mood. Not only Him, we need to serve the servants of the servants. Servants of the servants. Gopi Bhakti Padakamlo Dasana. When we remember, have this consciousness always, then we attain real relationship between God and the Jiva. When this gets clear, the process is simple, we can follow, and then we eventually get the results. The deity worship also, the Pujari must and should recite this prayer. Oh my dear Lordships, some or other have fallen in this material world, the cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease from the time immemorial. But some unimaginable mercy, I came to know that I am a servant, I am a Jiva, spirit soul, free from gross and subtle material, my bodies. And by the mercy of or my spiritual master, I came to know that my constitution position as a servant, my service is preferred, rendered and distributed. Lordships, which Radha Madhav. When we recite this stanza every day, then eventually we will realize our natural position, constitutional position. This gives the answer to all our existence. First of all, we need to know our exact position. From time immemorial, we are entrapped in the cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. But we don't know how we fall in this cycle. But we know through the devotees, we came to know that we are spirit soul, jiva, free from gross and subtle bodies, free from this all senses, mind, intelligence, ego. But with mercy of the Lord, spiritual master, we came to know our position as servant. When we have this prayer every day, eventually we will know the relation, transcendental loving relation between Supreme Lord and oneself. Okay? I have a question for all of you. Can I ask? Why cosmic manifestation is being described here? What understand the cosmic manifestation, purpose of creation, that everything can be doubted, that is of the Lord, and engage. By doing this, what will we get? By engaging everything in service of God, we'll fix ourselves in the devotion service. Then, if you heard anything in this material world, a thought should strike to us that this is nothing but the energy of the Lord. The Supreme Lord Himself, He created, maintaining, and eventually He destroyed. Proper understanding of philosophy. Otherwise, it's very difficult for us to get free from the shackles of Maya. Always entrapped. Being in a devotional path also, we will always get tricked by Maya, step after step.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. After a long time. Prabhuji, we see Mayavadi also, they read Bhagavatam, give a lot of lectures, and I'm not sure why, even though they read and do lectures, so much katha, they don't know the Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they remain Brahmavadi or Mayavadi. But what I understood that with the Sambandha Jnana, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's grace, he helped us establish this Sambandha Jnana. With that Sambandha we are studying, then we are able to understand.
Yes.
Otherwise,
You're absolutely correct, Prabhu. They directly jump onto the Leelas of the Lord, direct pastimes of the Lord. If they jump directly to the pastimes of the Lord, you may not understand the real meaning of it. That's why, in order to understand pastimes of the Lord, you need to go through the all first 9 cantos. You need to go through the creation, Sarga, Visarga, Sthana, Poshanam, and Sub. You should go through step by step. If you go step by step, you will eventually understand everything about the Supreme Lord. The Mayavadis, all those different class of people, they doesn't read or they doesn't accept the supreme hand behind the creation. If they accept, definitely they will become personalists. Definitely they will become the devotees of God. If they doesn't accept the hand behind the creation, the Lord's hand behind the creation, they will entrapped by them. So all those things they will entrap. They should see the hand, Supreme Lord's hand beyond the creation. And then somewhere it comes in, I think. After the creation, Lord extended himself 10 inches. Sometime. Second hand it comes. After everything happened, Lord is still above. Okay, we'll stop here. Thank you for patiently hearing. ग्रंथरा श्रीमद्भागवतम की शील भोपाल की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय गौर प्रेमानंद।